Welcome to another deep dive. We're going to be talking about a world that we often forget even exists,
Right.
and that is the microbiome.
Yes.
You've sent in some really interesting articles about this hidden universe, right, that's living inside all of us.
It is. It is.
Like trillions of bacteria and viruses and
Okay.
fungi.
And archaea.
Archaea.
Don't forget the archaea.
And archaea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's mind-boggling, isn't it?
It really is. And the most fascinating part for me is that it's not just like a random collection of microbes. They form this complex, interconnected ecosystem, especially in our gut, which is often called our second brain.
Second brain. See, that's where you lose me a little bit, right? I know our gut and brain are linked,
Yeah.
but a whole other brain.
Well, not a whole other brain. Think of it more like, a bidirectional communication highway.
Okay.
The gut-brain axis, right?
Yeah.
So it's constantly buzzing with signals traveling back and forth. Ever get those butterflies in your stomach
Oh, yeah.
before a big presentation or something like that?
Absolutely, yep.
That's your gut-brain axis in action.
Okay, yeah. When you put it like that, it makes more sense. So this communication network, it's always on, right?
It is.
So a healthy microbiome, then, must be so crucial to our well-being, like in a much bigger way than I ever really realized.
Absolutely. It goes way beyond just healthy digestion. Imagine your gut microbiome like a bustling city, right?
Okay.
A healthy microbiome is like a well-run city. It's diverse, each microbe has a specific role, and this balance is key for everything, from how well we absorb nutrients to how effectively our bodies fight off infections.
So if a healthy microbiome is a well-run city,
Yeah.
what happens when things get out of whack?
Right.
When the city, so to speak, starts to crumble?
That is when we see what's called dysbiosis. Dysbiosis, which is an imbalance in the microbiome.
Okay.
And as you can imagine, just like a city in disarray, it can lead to a whole host of problems. We're talking digestive issues like IBS, things like obesity, even diabetes.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me because I've read about the link between gut health and mental health, things like anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Is that connected to this dysbiosis?
It is a great question, and you're right on the mark with the connection. It's a rapidly developing field of research. And what we're finding is truly fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, did you know certain gut bacteria can actually produce neurotransmitters, including serotonin?
Wait, serotonin, isn't that like the feel-good chemical?
It is.
That impacts our mood.
It does.
Are you saying my gut bacteria could be playing a role in how I feel emotionally?
It's a two-way street, of course.
Mm.
But yes, research suggests that's a real possibility.
Wow.
This understanding of the gut-brain connection has the potential to completely change how we approach mental health.
That's incredible and a little bit mind-blowing. So let's talk about what we can do to nurture this inner world.
Right.
What can we do to keep those good bacteria happy and our internal city thriving?
Yeah. Diet is absolutely crucial. Think of fiber-rich foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, as the building blocks for a thriving microbiome.
Okay.
They provide the fuel that those beneficial gut bacteria need to flourish.
Huh.
And then you have fermented foods. Yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi. These are your probiotic powerhouses.
Probiotics, those are the good bacteria, like what you find in supplements.
Exactly. While supplements can be helpful, getting probiotics naturally through fermented foods is an excellent way to diversify your gut flora.
Okay.
On the flip side, you've got processed foods, excessive sugar. Those are like junk food for your gut. They disrupt that delicate balance, throwing your internal ecosystem out of whack.
Makes you think twice about reaching for that bag of chips, doesn't it?
It does.
What about antibiotics? I know there's been a lot of talk about those impacting gut health as well.
And for good reason. While antibiotics are essential for fighting bacterial infections, they don't differentiate between the good and bad bacteria in your gut.
Oh, right.
Overuse can wipe out both, leading to, you guessed it, dysbiosis.
Dysbiosis
Right.
and a whole range of potential problems.
So it's not as simple as like popping a probiotic and calling it a day.
Right.
It sounds like it's more about making consistent choices that support a thriving internal ecosystem.
You've hit the nail on the head. But diet is just one part of the equation. Lifestyle factors play a crucial role as well, particularly when you consider that powerful gut-brain connection we talked about.
Okay.
Chronic stress, for instance, can wreak havoc on your microbiome.
So less stress, more kimchi.
Got it.
Exactly.
What about things like sleep and exercise? Do those play a role in gut health as well?
Absolutely. Sleep deprivation can disrupt the delicate balance of your microbiome, leading to inflammation.
Yeah.
And regular physical activity, It's not just good for your heart and your lungs, it can actually increase the diversity of your gut bacteria.
It really is amazing how interconnected everything is. This idea of a whole body approach to gut health, it's fascinating. But I want to circle back to the mental health aspect for a moment because that feels particularly groundbreaking. Is there real potential there to treat conditions like depression and anxiety by focusing on the gut?
It's still a relatively new area of research, but the early findings are incredibly promising. We're seeing studies where changes to the gut microbiome through things like diet or even fecal microbiota transplants are having a measurable impact on mood and anxiety levels.
Okay, I have to admit the idea of fecal transplant still throws me off a little. It sounds pretty intense.
It sounds more dramatic than it actually is. Essentially, it involves transferring fecal matter from a healthy donor to someone with gut dysbiosis. It's actually been very effective in treating certain gastrointestinal conditions. And now researchers are exploring its potential for treating mental health conditions as well.
So theoretically, you could transplant a healthier microbiome and potentially see improvements in someone's mental health. That's incredible.
Yeah.
It feels like we're stepping into the future of medicine.
It's still early days, but the possibilities are incredibly exciting. And it really highlights the incredible power of the microbiome and how it might revolutionize healthcare as we know it.
This whole idea of personalized medicine, tailoring treatments to our unique microbiomes, tell me more about that. What's the potential there?
Imagine a world where we could analyze your individual microbiome and pinpoint specific imbalances.
Okay.
From there, we could develop truly personalized interventions, whether it's through diet, probiotics, prebiotics, or even fecal transplants, all with the goal of restoring balance and optimizing your health.
Prebiotics, that's a new one for me. What are those exactly?
Essentially, prebiotics are types of dietary fiber that act as food for the good bacteria in your gut, helping them flourish.
Okay.
Think of them as fertilizer for your microbiome.
So in a way, it's about feeding the good guys and making sure they have what they need to thrive.
Exactly.
Personalized microbiome treatments, it sounds like the ultimate form of preventative healthcare.
It has the potential to be truly transformative. By understanding your unique microbiome, you could potentially identify your risk factors for certain diseases, from autoimmune disorders to even certain types of cancer, and then take proactive steps to mitigate those risks through lifestyle changes and personalized interventions.
Wow, that's amazing. We've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
Diet, lifestyle changes, even these futuristic sounding treatments. But for someone listening right now, what are some simple things they can do today to start taking better care of their microbiome?
Yeah, that's a good question. The good news is that there's a lot you can do right now to make a difference. Start by incorporating a variety of plant-based foods into your diet. Make fermented foods like that kimchi we talked about earlier a regular part of your meals, and cut back on processed foods and added sugars. And never underestimate the power of managing your stress levels.
Stress management, a good diet, and a healthy dose of fermented foods. It sounds like a recipe for a happy gut and a happy mind. It feels like we're just scratching the surface here, though. There's so much more to learn about this hidden world inside us. Where do you see this field going in the next few years? What are you most excited about?
The pace of research is incredible. We're on the verge of a microbiome revolution in healthcare. We're going to see a much deeper understanding of how the microbiome influences everything from our immune system to our brain function.
It really does feel like unlocking a whole new frontier of medicine. And to think it's all happening inside us right now, it makes you look at yourself a little differently, doesn't it? Knowing we're walking ecosystems.
Yeah, it really does. And the more we learn about the trillions of passengers that inhabit our bodies, the more we realize how crucial they are to our overall health and well-being. It's a truly symbiotic relationship.
I have to say, after this deep dive, I'm feeling incredibly grateful for my microscopic companions.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot more than I ever gave them credit for. It's amazing to think about the power they hold and the potential they have to transform the future of healthcare.
It really is a paradigm shift in how we view health and disease. It's no longer just about targeting specific organs or systems. It's about understanding and nurturing the delicate balance of our internal ecosystems.
It really makes you wonder how much of our health is actually within our control.
Yeah.
If we can influence our microbiomes through our daily choices, it puts us in the driver's seat to a certain extent.
That's the empowering message here. We're not simply at the mercy of our genes. We have the ability to shape our internal environments and influence our health outcomes.
It really highlights this fascinating interplay between our choices and our biology. But I'm curious, with all this talk about the incredible potential of personalized medicine, Are there any downsides? What about the ethical side of things as this technology advances?
That's a very important consideration. We need to ensure that these advancements benefit everyone, not just a select few. Access for all is crucial. And of course, as with any new technology, we need to be mindful of unintended consequences.
Absolutely. It's about ensuring that advancements are used responsibly and equitably as this field continues to evolve.
Precisely. It's a conversation we need to keep having as we delve deeper into this frontier.
It's definitely a lot to consider, but one thing's for sure. This tiny world inside us has massive implications for the future of healthcare. It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we've only just begun to scratch the surface of understanding the complexity and the importance of the human microbiome. Who knows what other incredible discoveries await us in the years to come?
Well, I, for one, am excited to see where this journey takes us. It's been an incredible deep dive, to say the least. I think I speak for everyone listening when I say we'll never look at a plate of kimchi the same way again.
It's all about embracing those beneficial bacteria.
And on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive. A huge thank you to you for sharing your expertise with us today. It's been a truly fascinating conversation.
The pleasure was all mine. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey into the fascinating world of the microbiome. We hope this deep dive has left you with a newfound appreciation for your trillions of tiny companions. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep feeding those good gut bacteria. We'll see you on our next deep dive.